Damn, boy, I hear Jake wait outside, man.
Yeah, y'all, I'm listening to this nigga while I'm playing 2K, nigga. Fuck.
It really wasn't hard for me just for the fact that
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 10 out of Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all, like y'all rocking with me. For this video, man, shout out to my brother Bimba. I love you, Primo. Y'all already know if you follow me on Instagram that Bimba got locked up. He's currently inside of a jail in Miami. And what's crazy about the situation is even with the coronavirus and everything going around and people being released, he's in there right now off of a charge that violated his probation. But the charge was dismissed. And he's still sitting in there on a violation of probation for a charge that's no longer there anymore. It's fucking crazy. I don't know why he hasn't been released yet. But I've just been thinking about this shit, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to share some more stories with y'all. When we was bunkies together at Appalachia CI, the deadliest compound that I ever hit, we were both HO4s, close custody, which is the highest custody you can be without sitting in a cell 25/8. And I'm going to tell y'all about some of the craziness that we went through together. Now, there was a situation where, we were in the cell, and he told me, hey, I'm going to slide over to I3. My brothers are having problems with the G's. So our dorm has 4 quads in it. There's I1, 2, 3, and 4. We were in 4. Now, when he told me that, it's like, you're not just going over there. I'm finna come with you. Like, it's not debatable. If we don't have any iron in here, we gonna make something. But bro had a big ass poker, you know what I mean? Big metal shit, looked like a fat screwdriver. It was a big ass nail. I think it was one of the nails that like holds the fence into the ground or some shit. But it was a huge fucking nail. I forget what I had. If I either had a knife or a lock and a sock, one or the other. But the second the doors pop, I go up to the top tier to cell 2. 2 top, that's Goo cell. Shout out to Goo. And I tell Goo, hey, bro, Bimba said he finna slide over to I3. You know what it is with me and Bimba. If he goes, I go. And I'm just letting you know what time it is. So he's like, all right, so, I'm gonna see y'all in I3. Like, I bet. How we had to do it is we had to get the CO to pop the door to I4. So the electric door would open up. We slide out in the hallway and stand in the hallway under the booth. Have someone from I3 pop the door, we slide into I3. It's not our quad, we're not supposed to be in there. That's a DI for being in a place you're not supposed to be. And I mean, we're all going over there strapped. We're going over there with the expectation that we're finna just crash the fuck out. Everybody's gonna go ape shit in the dorm. And we're trying to score. We're trying to hit somebody. We're trying to, whatever it is. So we did exactly just that. We all sneak out. It's me, Goo, Rambo, Bimba, another one of Bimba's brothers. I mean, like, we were out here in this fucking hallway deep, you know what I mean? And I3, they peep game. We view his brothers, so we start throwing up our shit, showing love, you know what I'm saying? Letting them know, like, hey, y'all finna go to war? We all finna go to war. We finna tear this bitch down. Ain't gonna be a GD left in this bitch. And they had, I don't know, maybe like, I want to say like 7 people as far as the GDs go. The Kings, they had maybe like 5, possibly 6, I'm not sure. It was pretty even between the number of Kings and GDs and I3. And everyone that was in there, I'm not even going to lie, they were all, on that. None of them were pussy on either side. I've never really met any pussy kings to begin with because they definitely hold their own accountable. But, I mean, the kings that were in there, the majority of them had either fucking life or just mad time and were straight vicious. They were known not to be fucked with. The GDs that were in there, same shit. Mad fucking time, tatted all up on the face, looking crazy. And, it is what it is. It's like, all right. It's like when 2 teams go to the Super Bowl. Both teams are good. It could go either fucking way. It's just a matter of how it plays out. But the GDs, that was their responsibility to send word to their people. And from what I heard, they did try to have somebody slide down from another dorm. But the thing about our dorm is on the bottom of the hill. all the GDs were really on the top of the hill. So they would have had to slide down the hill, get into I-Dorm, then get into I-3. There's no going back after that. Unless we're going to wreck a chow or something, you're pretty much stuck at that point and you're going to go to confinement. So you might as well hit something up so that the mission isn't a blank mission. You don't just go to confinement on the house. But they didn't have any extra people slide over with them. They didn't have those numbers. It wasn't there for them. So when we slid in there, it was fucking obvious how things was gonna play out. And as soon as we walk in that bitch, Goo make an announcement and let it be known, Bloods is gonna rock behind the Kings. It's 5 Love. What's up? You know what I mean? And the Kings that was in there, they actually didn't like that. They took it as, you know, we don't need this backup. I think that they did have lesser numbers, but they wanted to show dominance. Like, we don't need anybody coming behind us. We don't need any of that, But at the same time, they knew what it was with me and Bimba. If Bimba go, I'ma go. If I'ma go, Bimba gonna go, and they gonna follow regardless. So there wasn't too much that they could do about that. And at one point, one of the Kings and the GDs, they started to square off. And like I said, everyone's strapped, but they were trying to more or less just throw hands and see if it can be squashed in that way. But the specific King that got in the grid with him, though, that GD ain't want that shit. He really ain't want that pressure, and you could tell he didn't want that pressure. So we all in here, we strapped up. The CO peeps game on what's going on. She starts banging on the glass. But the thing is, the specific CO, that's my CO. That's my baby. She fucked up about me. This is the bitch that's shooting me cigarettes, writing me love letters. This is the girl I'm on the phone with. I'm 3-way calling her off of the prison phone and talking to her when she gets off work. You know what I'm saying? So, like, she really ain't gonna do nothing major to me. I'm trying to make sure she doesn't do nothing major to anyone else that I'm with. So the King and the GD that were about to square up, the GD backed off of him. He didn't want that pressure. And we were basically like half and half on the dorm. Like, they were on the back half of the dorm, their little group. We were on this half. No one had crossed that line. You know what I mean? Like, when you see two armies marching up, nobody crossed that opposite line, and that's what would have set everything off. And they were pretty much backed up into a corner. They would have been fucked. We already outnumbered them. And just to be honest, like, I don't think they were strapped like us. Like, even if they had like a couple of pistols or something, we came through with choppers and fucking rocket launchers. Like, we had some shit, you know what I mean? We were better prepared for war than they were at that point. So once the CO really starts tripping out, we were all able to leave. She popped the door to I-3. Everyone that wasn't supposed to be in there, we all got to slide out. I told her, hey, pop the door to I-4. She pops the door so I can go in. I made sure all my people went in before I went in, and we were good. The situation was pretty much at a standstill from that point on. Now, all of the drama that happened inside of that quad really fell back on the one specific GD, but his brothers are going to rock behind him. That's just how it goes. But technically, he's the only one that's at fault, and he's the only one that anybody really wanted to get at to begin with. So, you know, Bimba's on the window because we can actually view I-3 from I-4, and he's sign languaging his people, and they're putting them up on beat about the situation, whatever, whatnot. We put up the bangers and shit. We just vibing out in the dorm. We hanging out. We having a good night. And I forget what time it was. It was like early in the morning. You know, everything's locked down. The lights are off. But there's an emergency traffic. They come in, they take the GD out, and they take out his bunkie, who was just a Chico. He was just a Neutron Spanish guy. You know what I'm saying? And what actually happened was that GD stabbed his bunkie while his bunkie was asleep. So this is the whole thing about checking in, gangster check-ins, what we call PC, because I guess we don't even have PC. We have PM, which is protective management. You have to go through so much shit to get approved for it. You're really not going to get approved for it. You can be stabbed and still not be approved for PM. So because we have so many compounds in Florida, what'll happen is someone will check in. They'll say they're in fear for their life. They'll go to confinement, whatever. They'll get denied PM, but they'll get shipped to another camp. And then they can start gangbanging all over again and act like that shit didn't happen until someone that was at this prison catches up with him and lets it be known how this person was actually rocking. So instead of going to war with the Kings and popping off when he had the opportunity, He woke up in the middle of the night, or probably just stayed up the whole night, and stabbed the shit out of his fucking bunkie while his bunkie's sleeping. So they told us, because we talked to them after it happened. They're like, man, we just heard a scream in the middle of the night. Everything was dead ass quiet. Then all you heard, ah, ah, ah. He started banging on the door and shit. So I guess like he just stuck the knife in his fucking leg. He wasn't trying to kill him. I'm guessing he did it in his leg just to like make it so the guy can't really fight back, because when you get stabbed in the leg, you can't really fucking move. And he was able to go to confinement on an assault on an inmate, possession of weapon. He did like a gangster check-in. Like you checked in, but you did it in a gangster way, if that makes sense. It's like if someone walks up and stabs you in front of a CO. Yeah, they got you, they stabbed you, but they did it in front of a CO specifically to go to confinement so that there isn't any repercussions. Now, from that point on the compound, it was well known, Bloods and Kings gonna rock, and we not in favor of the GDs whatsoever. There were really no Crips at ACI. When I was at ACI, there was only a small few of them until one of their big names came through and started cleaning them up, because a lot of the Crips, they were gay as fuck. There was a Crip named Caveman that was known for knocking shit out. He was a booty bandit. There was a Crip from Orlando named Livewire. He had a boyfriend on the compound. That shit was really fucking gay. And the GDs at ACI were openly gay. The head gangster disciples on that compound, each one of them had a boy or had multiple boys that they fucked with. It was disgusting. So obviously, because of what we go by, the standards that we go by, our rules, our laws, we're going to rock with the Kings just off of the fact that they're conducting themselves in the same manner that we do. But I mean, it don't even stop there with Bimba, man. Bimba, we used to have a lot of fun, and bro was real good at poker, but it used to always get him into some shit, to the point that I'd be standing behind him at the poker table. I'd have two knives on me. I might have my knife, I might have his knife, both on me. You know what I'm saying? Or I might just have two of my own knives and he got his poker, whatever it is. And Rambo or something will walk up, try to slap box right quick. I put my setup to Rambo, and you can hear the two knives like dinging off of each other in my pants. You know what I mean? Because I got them hanging off of clips, ID clips from my boxes. So you'll just hear them shits, ting, ting. Everybody at the poker table looking like, yeah, we strapped up in this bitch. Anybody try to butt the table, rob the table, any of that shit, it ain't going down. We gonna wet some. And he got into it a couple of times over poker. He got into it with an older black guy on the top tier, I remember. And he was finna go fight him. So, we both slid upstairs. And he walked right in the dude's cell. And this is the thing about Bimba. He's not going to catch you off guard. He's not going to sneak you. He's not going to hit you from behind. He's going to walk right into your fucking cell and tell you to get right, tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, do whatever you need to do. Put your shoes on, take your shirt off, whatever the fuck it is. Put your hands up, we gonna bump. And Bimba big as fuck. Bimba was 25, the same age as me, but he's fighting motherfuckers at a 30, 35, 40, that been down 20 years, 15 years, got 3 life sentences. Bimba wasn't picking their face. He was ready to grid whatever, whenever. That's just how he carried himself. You know what I mean? That's just, it is what it is. So we get to the top tier. Bimba walks in. He's just like, yo, what's up, fool? There's pressure? What's up? You trying to tighten up? And an older homie from Orlando, starts walking down the tier peeping game. And this isn't somebody that I was cool with. He not homie. I don't want to say that so there's no confusion. He wasn't blood. He wasn't nothing like that. He was just from Orlando. He rocked with Orlando. But he was a known killer. They were saying that this man was rumored to have like 15 bodies. He beat the murder of a police officer. He beat like 3 other murders. He from, I think it was Ivy Lane in Orlando. I think that's where he was from. But just a big crazy motherfucker. And, his body and shit. He's going to wet something up. It is what it is. He got a lot of time. And he's trying to beat the murder conviction that he currently has. So he walks up, and now it's just me and him at the door. I got the knife though. But he was cool with the guy Bimba ran down on. I didn't really know that at the time. So he's walking up. I'm thinking he's just trying to peep game and see a fight. Really, he was ready to take off on me while Bimba took off on him. But he walked up on some friendly shit. He's just like, man, what's up? What they got going on? Like, man, they just handling their business, whatever. They talked that out. It was good. And I mean, if dude would have hit me, my shit probably would have broke. But I would have came with that knife and tried to soak something, because this is not the motherfucker to beef with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can honestly say, this is one of the last people I want to get into it with, because you got to kill somebody like this. It's not just going to be little poke 'em up, cut 'em, and it's over with. Nah. This dude, he's coming to body something. But we were cool as shit, especially after this point. He had the corner cell, so we used to smoke, hang out. Everybody would get tatted. He wanted me to draw him tattoos, so I was getting paid and shit like that. You know, we never had pressure, and Bimba and the dude were able to talk it out. But there was another time when Bimba wasn't able to talk it out, and he walked right up in this other dude's cell, big ass dude, swole as shit. Buddy was shaving, and Bimba told him to tighten the fuck up while he was shaving. Mind you, he's shaving with a razor that you are not allowed to have in the cell. We ain't supposed to have razors at ACI. This is a psych camp. We got crazy people here. There's no razors here. So if you have a razor, it got brought in from another compound. But Bimba wasn't worried about that fucking razor. He walked right in and told his ass to tighten up, and they tore it down enough. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, this was like a heavyweight UFC fight. Like, these are some big motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And when Bimba came out, he had a little bit of marks on him. But he beat the fuck out of the other dude, though. Straight like that. He beat the fuck out of the other dude. And the other dude, I think he either had life or he had like 40 years. Like, he had a ridiculous amount of time, had been down a ridiculous amount of time. Bimba got right in there and painted with fool. And then when we got back into the room, you know, we dapping up. I'm like, hell yeah. He's like, fuck yeah. You know, we start hanging out, start smoking and shit, eat a big brick. Because it's a good feeling, you know, when you're able to solve something through fighting, when you don't have to stab somebody, you're able to bump and it's over with. It's a good feeling because people see you bout that shit. You're going to stand on yours. People respect the fact on how you handled it, and no one got hurt. It didn't have to turn into a crazy thing where you get hurt, he get hurt, somebody catch more time, a war pops off from the situation. It was just able to end well, so everyone was happy about that. And it wasn't pressure after that point. You know what I mean? There was no pressure in the dorm with the guy. They were both able to live in the same dorm after they fought. So it was a good moment, you know what I'm saying? But the most memorable moment that I have with him, besides the first thing that we did together, is the time that we prayed not to have to kill somebody because he owed money. And, you know, one of my dogs was in the cell with him. I'm sign languaging him, what's your bunkie on? And he says, oh, my bunkie putting his boots on. So, you know, that's telling us, like, all right, it's go time. Like, it's go time. Soon as this door pop, we finna slide over there. And Bimba had the poker on him. That big ass fucking poker. And I had a lock and a sock. And, you know, we didn't want to do it because he was literally right about to go home. And I had a couple months left after him. We were both right about to go home. We really weren't trying to do this type of shit. But we didn't know if he had a knife. So we're not going to go in there expecting hands and then we get stabbed. You know what I'm saying? And we prayed. We literally prayed about it. You know, did the whole fucking thing. And we prayed that we don't have to kill him. And that door popped and we went right to their door. Before their door could even pop, we were at their door already because we would sell 2 bottom. So they're going to pop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was like cell 9 and some shit that we were getting to. So before their door popped, we're outside of their door. I got my hands in my pants clutching the sock ready to take it out and boop, you know what I'm saying? And he got the banger and that door popped and we rushed in that bitch like, what's up? And I mean, dude folded first quarter. I'm talking about stuttering and shit. Like he didn't want that pressure. And he was trying to like act like he was something, but we know it's bullshit. We got what we wanted. It was nothing. We were both able to go home. You know, we did a lot of shit for each other and we rode out for each other. We went hard. And damn, bitch, they gotta free you, dog. This corona shit gotta clear up. Cause I was supposed to come down to Miami for your birthday. We were gonna hang the fuck out. But, hey, when we link up, it's gonna be a fucking movie. Until then, it's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. Till next time.